Hello, everybody. It is Tom Chenault. It's Adrian Chenault, and it is the Legacy Leadership Show yet once again. And I've got Adrian here to ask the smart questions. This is going to be a show of the century. I want you to pay attention to it. How are you, Adrian?
I'm good. I missed you. Welcome back.
I know it. I haven't seen you for a long time.
I know.
This is exciting. And here's what I'm talking about. Look at this box right here, you guys. We're going to go right to the show because it's so amazing. We opened up this box a couple of days ago, and Adrian and I are, people send us caviar, they send us lobster, they send us diamonds, they send us Bitcoin. We've never had anything like this box. This box is so beautiful. It's unbelievable. And then you open it up, and that took me about an hour to figure out how to do it. And I opened this thing up, Adrian. Oh, there it goes. Like, and it's got a live video in it. Look at that. And it fires up and it explains this book. It explains Bob and Woody, and it is the coolest thing going. And these two are promoters, and they know how. If you want to catch a mouse, you have to think like a cheese. And these guys have absolutely broken the code on how to think like a cheese. And I love them. Unbelievable, don't you?
I love them to death. We do still accept caviar and Bitcoin for future guest reference, but we also would love a cool box like this. These are two of my favorite people. I love their heart. I love their insight. I love what they're doing and the impact that they have in the world. And the way that we met them is also really cool. And I maybe want to start there because I think it maybe can bring some illustration to this. So Woody, we met. Did you meet him at a Sperry thing before we did, or? Okay, so you knew him before, but we went to Rob Sperry, put together an unbelievably awesome mastermind at Pirates Cove, just outside of Las Vegas. And Woody was there, and he comes in there on the first night, and he shared about his D.R.I.V.E sales system. And the content was great, but there are times when you meet somebody and you immediately know this person didn't just create this thing. This person is this thing. And that was who Woody is. And that's who Woody was on that night. And I was just completely mesmerized by him. We got to be friends over the next couple of days. And what was so cool about Woody is he goes, wait, well, you live in Colorado? Okay, great. I'm going to be there like on Tuesday, like right after this weekend. And there's this guy that's there that you got to meet. His name is Bob. And he's awesome. And so come down, we're going to go to it. So we go to this restaurant and we met Bob, and we met a guy who he works with named Jay Stark, who's also phenomenal, and just had the most amazing time. And seeing the way that these guys are truly about real connection and relationship made a lasting impression. And so when they put out this newest book, I knew it was going to be a home run. So with that, we've gotten the Guinness Book of World Records longest intro in the history of a podcast. Woody and Bob, welcome to the show. Woody, how are you, buddy?
Doing fantastic, my friend. What an honor it is to be on the show. I'm so grateful for you guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, no doubt, man. We're just honored to be here.
Woody?
Say again?
Are you really tan?
It's this camera. Look how white my teeth are.
So I like that. So I'm on this cruise to Alaska, and Denise is on here right now. This was just unbelievable. The three cutest kids you've ever seen in your life all had their sailor suits on, and this little 4-year-old girl walks up, and they're talking about being silent. It's just unbelievable. And the little girl walks up to me and goes, "Sir?" I go, "What?" She goes, "Why is your face so red?" And just embarrassed me in front of all these people. No. She was just so authentic. So now I'm noticing red faces. So good to see you, Bob and Woody. How are you guys up? You guys all right?
Hey, we're loving live.
Yeah. And thank you guys for your support. The book just hit #1 in all 3 categories on Tuesday, #1 in Australia, and #3 in Canada. So I appreciate your guys' support and having us on the podcast today.
That is so cool. And I am loving this book already. So I'm very, very honored. I didn't realize that. I knew it was at launch time, but today is the official launch of Bob and Woody's brand new book, The D.R.I.V.E Sales System. You've got to go and get it. Is Amazon the best place for these guys to go, or where do you want people to go to find the book?
Amazon's fantastic, and it's in 40,000 bookstores worldwide. So really, any place they prefer to buy books, it is there.
Wow. Look at you, Mr. Big Time. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
We're trying to be as cool as you guys. That's why we're working so hard.
Wow. You have well and truly surpassed. That is super, super cool. Okay. So I want to hear, I've never heard the story of how you guys came to be collaborators initially. So I'd love to start there.
This is a great story. I'll have Bob tell his version. I'll tell you my version. Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
but I'm going to tell you my version last so that I can correct anything he says.
That's my job in this partnership. All right, go ahead, Bob.
Right. So years ago, I know a good friend of mine, his name is Richard Stock and his brother Kendall Stock. I met them 15 years ago. I met Bob from his previous company. I spoke for his company, did phenomenal. And then I wanted to reconnect. You know, that's like you meet someone, you have a great first impression, and then a couple years go by and you want to reconnect. So I go to Richard and I was like, hey, can you reintroduce me to Bob? It's been about 3 or 4 years. So he goes to Bob and Bob's like, no, I don't want to meet him. And I'm like, what? Come on, I'm a decent guy. Like, I want to meet Bob. I was like, yeah, I don't want to meet him. And he said something, and this is what really started me down this path with D.R.I.V.E, because if he can prove that his sales system actually works, I'll have lunch with him. So I went into Richard's group for 90 days, coached his people, increased their sales 149% in 90 days, and then we ended up having lunch. So I'll let Bob finish it from there.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, and see, Woody remembers it just a little bit differently because I didn't say, I don't want to meet him. I don't want to meet with him. I said, I don't have the time. I mean, I just launched my new company. I mean, my previous company where I met Woody, I mean, that was a rocket ship to the moon. I mean, inside of 4 years, we were doing, almost $80 million a year, and business was good. And Woody was coaching so many of my top leaders. He was getting a great result with them. So when I started my current company, and we were about 2.5 years into it, and that's when Richard came to me and he said, Bob, you need to meet with Woody. And I was just inundated. My schedule was so packed that it wasn't that I didn't want to meet him. I just didn't have the time. So here's what happened. Richard twisted my arm big time. I mean, that's what he did. And I went out to lunch with Woody, and Woody sat down and he showed me, his system. And in 15 minutes, I mean, really, the first 15 minutes, I looked at him and I said, this is genius. How long did it take you to simplify this into what it is? And he said, decades. And I could appreciate that. I really could. I could appreciate that because sometimes we come up with these great ideas, but in the process of unpacking them, they just get more complicated and more complicated. And what he did is he narrowed it down into its simplistic form so that it was easily digestible and understandable. And from there, it was like, oh, okay, man, this is something we've got to have. So it wasn't long before Woody was on my stage. I rolled it out to 1,200 of our salespeople at our national conference. And I have given Woody literally his own personal laboratory with thousands of salespeople over the last 13 years in my company to perfect, improve, and make D.R.I.V.E what it is today. So I am honored to be a part of his life's work. I mean, I really am. And I'm thrilled for what we're creating because everybody in the world needs D.R.I.V.E.
It's kind of like what Adrian and I are doing with contact mapping and now site.
Yeah.
I walked in there with you guys, and what I love most about you was the fact that you had your son so heavily involved. And, because we do have an expiration date, all of us. And to understand that what you're building is so much bigger than you are and so much a legacy project, it's unbelievable. And what I love about you guys is that you are thinking the long game and that you are changing the world. And that is super, super important and super beautiful. And thank you for that. And I'm so excited about. Are you going to go to Costa Rica, either one of you, for Sperry's deal?
So funny. I just saw Rob's face pop up on the comment, and we talk about it every day. Are we going to? Our schedule is the issue right now. We've been asked to speak literally around the world with D.R.I.V.E. So we might be in the UK, or we might be. It's going to be. Yes, we want to go. Are you guys going?
I'm going. Send your son.
Yeah.
He'd be.
I'll tell you what. I'd love to be there, but yeah, we got to sort it out because any time that I can spend hanging out with you guys and Rob Sperry, that's a good day.
Yeah,
best investment ever.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Rob for a second because I think Rob is taking a note out of your playbook, Woody. but I don't know if have you seen this little series of Facebook posts that he's been
Edification
doing?
Acres is what I call that.
Oh my gosh,
It's
but they're so good.
I know. Well, you can't. You
I gotta
He's
tell
just
you,
mad because he hasn't made it on yet. Hold on.
No,
he was on.
You made it on?
I think I was the second one.
Oh,
Yeah,
the only
he
one
made
that
it
didn't
before.
show me.
Yeah, I think I
He
was
made it
after
before
Woody.
I made it. No, I got to give full props to Rob on that. He did that on his own. And I tell you what, I have reached out to him, told him it's the smartest thing I've ever seen anyone do online. It is the most brilliant. And for those of you who are watching and you don't know, go look up Rob Sperry. His Facebook post every day, he's taking someone that from his life, his experience, and doing a full post about that person. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
It really, really is, and I'm captivated by him.
Then we share the crap out of them if it's about us, which is genius. I haven't shared anybody else, but man,
It's
I
true.
shared mine like you would not have believed. Yeah.
That is so awesome. That's so awesome. So, okay, talk about this is your So this is your second book in the D.R.I.V.E. Is it a series? Can I call it the D.R.I.V.E. series?
Sure.
It is a series now. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So there's two. It make two lines connected. Sorry, two dots connected. We've got a line, and that line now is a series. So I want to hear about the first book and the personality system, and then I want to hear about why this book and why it's so important right now.
Beautiful. So here's the reality. The first book I wrote by myself, and it was this exact same time 5 years ago. So 2020, we released in September of 2020. And like Bob said, he gave me the most perfect platform to test, retest, interview everybody in his company, plus other sales companies along the way. But because of him, we've been able to define and redefine what D.R.I.V.E. really is. So Bob and I have collaborated on many projects, but we never came together on a book before. And if for those of you who've ever created, you know what happens is you build in your own silo in your head and you forget what you don't know or you forget what you should put. And we were sitting down masterminding. I said, well, what's the book missing, the first book? And he gave me a litany of like 7 key things that I teach every day that I totally forgot. I didn't put in the first book. And so that is why he and I wrote this book. And honestly, it's so much better than the first book that we pulled the first book down from Amazon. Like you can't even buy it anymore.
Wow.
This book has everything that we were missing in the previous one. Though that one did well, this book, and without Bob, it never would have been. And in the background, you'll see in his picture, there's another one called D.R.I.V.E. Influence coming out in January. It's already finished.
Yeah.
But that's our sales leadership book, team building book. And so that one will come out. So we will have a continual series going forward. But man, without Bob, this would never have been. And he is the reason why that book is so successful.
He's so good to give me credit, but the reality is without Woody, it wouldn't have happened. So I'm glad that we could collaborate. That's the beauty of collaboration is when you take a couple of individuals with their life experience, you bring them together on a common project and it becomes better as a result.
That is totally right on. That's totally right on. Okay, so one question that came up, and I know there's an answer to the question, so I want to ask it so people who are wired this way can get the answer. So if I'm an audiobook guy and I'm interested, what do I do?
Message me on Facebook at Meet Woody, MEET, Woody, WOODY, and I'll send you a link to it for free. It is going up on Audible right now. And so we had to have the ebook. So it's finished. The Audible book is done. We have to go through the loops and hoops with Amazon to get up on Audible. But if they're on this call and they're friends of yours, send me a link. I'll send you it. But it will be on Audible hopefully within the next week or two.
That is so cool. All right. That's super generous of you. Thank you for doing that. And I knew there was like a secret link to it that I've already been listening to, but I wanted to make sure we could get that into people's hands. That's awesome.
Yeah. I think you ought to have Woody kind of unpack what D.R.I.V.E. is. There's a lot of folks I'm sure that probably don't even know what in the heck we're talking about.
Please.
Okay. So it started January 23rd of 2006. I was writing my first 7-book series on millionaire dropouts, inspiring stories of the world's greatest failures. So over years, I'd read all these biographies, trying to figure out why somebody who had dropped out of middle school, high school, or college went out there and changed the world. And so in this process, my wife said, I really feel inspired. You need to read How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I'm like, there's no way I can read that right now. My brain feels like it's bleeding. I just can't do one more book. She said, I'll take the kids, you go to the library. So I go to the library, second chapter, first page, left-hand side. There's a quote by Dr. John Dewey that said, the deepest urge in human nature is the desire to feel important. Now, I thought there's no way that's true. I don't want to be important. I don't want to feel important. I'm going to go prove this guy wrong. Now, he's been dead for 57 years, but I got to go prove him wrong. Through that process of interviewing thousands of people, built a website that interviewed people, that got tens of thousands of views, and found out that everybody has 7 key characteristics that make them feel important. What's important to you is different than what makes you feel important. So work and family can be important to you, but work and family may not make you feel important, make you feel on top of the world. And so our true motivation, our true inspiration comes through what makes us feel important. And through that process, and once again, interviewing people and crowdsourcing and data collection, we identified these 5 different motivational cycles and personality types where it's D.R.I.V.E. D is for directors. So these are the people who are super motivated and driven for lifestyle, freedom, creativity. R is for relators. They're driven by networking with people. Like Rob Sperry is a perfect relator, phenomenal at bringing massive amounts of people together and adding value for them. Then there are the I's, which are intellectuals. They're systemized. They're the ones who look for point A to B the fastest, most efficient way. V of drive is for validators. They're all about acceptance, recognition, appreciation, giving it and receiving it. So they're your 4 a.m. friend. If you're stuck at the airport, you want to call a validator because they'll jump out of bed and come get you. Then your E is your executives. They're all about winning, control. They're the show me the money audience. They want proof before they buy. And in that process of identifying these, we found that everybody has only 2 types of motivation. You have internal motivation, for you, by you. That's where your confidence, your strength, your superpower comes from. Or you have external motivation, that's for you by other people. So other people, places, or things. Anytime in business, when we are externally motivated, looking outside ourselves, it is only a matter of time till we fail. So where this differentiates from color code, DISC, Myers-Briggs, any of those, this is really about your operating system, how you choose to buy, how you choose to sell, how you show up, and what really motivates you from the inside out.
That makes a ton of sense. And it comes back to that sort of, you can white knuckle your way to some kind of outcome for a certain amount of time, but eventually that sort of fuel source is going to run out. And you got to find out how to operate from a more intrinsic place if you're going to be successful in a way that's sustainable, and if you're going to be happy with whatever success you ultimately achieve, right?
I honestly, if you were to say, what's the biggest aha throughout all of the discovery of drive for the last 20 years, it's that right there. So you can take How to Win Friends, Think and Grow Rich, As a Man Thinketh. You take all the classics. None of them teach how to be internally motivated. None of them do. None of the classics, none of the great ones that are out there right now. When you learn why you think the way you think and why you show up the way you show up, and then you add internal to it, it's night and day different. It changes the game.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, and it's been transformative for my own organization, and I've watched what it's done with so many of our leaders and in helping them. I'll tell you what's really great about it is that it does a number of things. It drives sales because you're now speaking the language, the preferred buying language that your prospect, your buyer, actually wants to be spoken to in, right? I mean, you're communicating on their level, meeting their feeling of importance, which is what drives behavior. The next thing is because you're able to integrate this into your culture, into your team. Now what happens is that you see all of the ancillary effects. You see relationships healed between individuals, maybe distributors who have let their ego get in the way. You see relationships healed in the home between spouses and children, and being able to communicate more effectively one with another and know how to meet their needs. You get to lower attrition in your company because you get to see individuals' drive being met rather than offended, so that they want to continue on with you. Anyway, that's the reason why I wanted to take it to the world. And I'm just so grateful for Woody's genius.
I think that I changed my intuition having read this book, it was unbelievable, because after I read it, I'm not bad at reading people, but I read this book and I started looking at them differently. And it was because you had me look inward than outward, and understanding how they're wired was a lot easier for me. And I could speak into their listening a lot better than I had previously. And I thought I was pretty good at it. And Richard Brooke threw something up at the very beginning. Why would I do this? And why would I do this now? And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the reason, it's a little bit like contact mapping, where everybody's talking about these 45 million leads that you bring in, you sign people up with a click that leave you with a click. And we are absolutely monomaniacal about developing a relationship and keeping them around. This thing is going to speed you up. It is going to have you so much better at that you won't believe it. You're not only going to be able to bring them in better and literally easier, but you're going to be able to keep them around a lot longer because you know what makes them tick, right, you guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that because earlier, we were talking about ROI and so forth. There's two types of ROI. There's return on investment. If I invest $1,000 and I get 10%, I make $100 in the year. We all understand that. The other ROI is return on importance. Think about the people in your network who make you feel important.
Yeah.
Would you not do anything for them? Whether it's a spouse, a sibling, a friend, a partner, whatever it is, the people who make us feel important are the people we will die for. We will die on that hill to defend and protect them. You think about the golden rule, do unto others the way you want to be done unto. In sales, that's actually very selfish. That means I'm going to sell to you the way I want to be sold.
Right.
Totally selfish. The platinum rule, do unto others the way they want to be done unto, is totally internally motivated because I got to think about them. I got to put them first, and I got to give them what they're looking for. So to me, I don't even think about sales. I think about service. If you really understand people and you really are there to serve them, you will end up selling them eventually because you'll create enough value that they want what you have.
There you go. There you go. Woody, how long at this stage, how long do you think it takes you to kind of make that determination of what somebody's drive is when you meet somebody brand new?
So there's 3 ways that we've identified in the book. It's in chapter 7. It's how you identify someone's drive. So we call it good, better, and best. So a good way, we call that the 3-foot rule. You're on a networking event or you're on a Zoom call like this, and you don't have the ability to go deep with them. There's 3 questions you can ask. Other than work and family, what are you most passionate about? The reason why you want to say other than work and family is Gallup poll did a study and found out 74% of the people don't like their job. So the second you say, oh, what do you do for work? Well, now 74% of the people don't like you. And then we know that marriage usually is 45 to 50% divorce ratio on top of the other ones who haven't got divorced but still hate their spouse. So now you ask about, are you married? Now half of them automatically don't like you. So other than work and family, what are you most passionate about? Here's the beautiful thing about that. If they're a relator, they're going to talk about family. Great. Now you have permission to talk about family. If they're an executive, they're going to talk about work. Now you got permission to talk about work. Second question, when you don't get to, and then you insert their passion, how does it impact you? You're looking for a negative emotional drop. If they say, oh, nothing, it doesn't affect me, go back to number 1. You don't have their passion. When you think about your passion, if you can't do your passion for 2, 3, or 4 weeks, you're frustrated. So you want to find that negative impact. Then the follow-up question, you want to take emotionally back up. When you are able to insert their passion, how does it make you feel? As soon as they get excited and they're just, lighting up, their facial expressions, they're so excited, you've hit their drive. So then you, based off their answers to your questions, you can identify if it's a lifestyle as a director, if it's about proof, it's an executive. So that's a great way, not the best way, but it's a good way to start. The second way, which is the better way, is we have individual drive cards where let's say you're going to sit down with someone and we're in the business of knee to knee, belly to belly. You want to get to know people. We have these drive cards. You lay them on the table. Hey, I just want you to put these in order of what makes you feel important. Takes 3 to 4 minutes. They do it. They lay them out. And then all of a sudden, they feel like, oh, this guy really understands me. They totally understand who I am. And now they feel important because you've spoken their language. Then the best way is the website, which is discoveryourdrive.com. Anyone can go on there. We don't sell anything from that site. It's universal for anyone. Discoveryourdrive.com. They have their friends take that assessment, and then they tell you, oh, I'm a director relator. I'm a validator executive, because you have a primary and secondary drive. And for those of you who want the drive cards, I think Bob's got them right there in front of him.
I was pulling one out. I thought I need some drive cards in front of me, so I was just pulling this out and.
So the great thing about the drive cards, show them the back of them, Bob. It probably won't show up, but the back of the cards tell you
there's the front of them. On the back of them,
There it is.
It shows you their likes and their dislikes. It shows the environment of where to close them and where not to close them. And the cards, and this is Bob's generosity. The cards are totally free. Anyone can get them. Drive cards. What is it? Drive cards. There's 3 words.
I thought it was drivecards.com.
DriveSalesCards.com.
Sales cards. Oh,
DriveSalesCards.com. They're totally free. You just pay shipping and handling. Bob covers that. We actually lose money on them, but everybody should have them.
That's
get to know people. Yeah, they're a blast.
That's awesome. All right, we're going to put that up there. Hold on. DriveSalesCards.com. You got to go and do that. I got a set of cards as a gift when I met you the first time, Woody. I love them. I've held on to them to this day. So definitely, what an incredible gift. Thank you guys.
And by the way, I absolutely love this system with NowSight. This is fantastic.
It's fun moving all the little pieces around, huh?
Well, it just creates greater engagement. I love it. This is great. Props to you guys and to the team.
Well, there's the team. They won't even let me move. They have me in a straitjacket in this chair. They're afraid I'm going to touch something.
Don't touch anything.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It is so awesome. Okay, so you guys are going and speaking all over the world. You're speaking in new types of companies, new types of industries that you guys have never touched before, it sounds like. Is that true?
Yeah. But what most people don't know about Bob is Bob has generated hundreds of millions of dollars in business. He's been in business for over 38 years. He has personally, through his companies, have trained 114,000 salespeople. So his experience, expertise goes really, really deep. You know, we've dabbled a lot in the network marketing space because that's Bob's background, my background, and training as well. But we've now ventured out, and we're having a lot of success in any and every. Oh, we got Fraser. Hey, Fraser, love you, Fraser.
Folks,
I think he's in San
Fraser,
Francisco.
legend. Love Fraser.
Oh, that's so good. Miss you, buddy.
He might actually be in the United States. I saw a post this morning. He was stranded in San Francisco. So,
Oh,
who
right
knows?
on.
We all love Fraser. He's the best. So we've had a lot of success just going outside. So at the end of the day, and this quote is not mine. This is from Simon Sinek, and this sums it all up. 100% of customers are people. 100% of employees are people. If you don't understand people, you don't understand business.
Wow.
And we were on a call with a multi-billion-dollar company, and this gentleman, it's in the construction trade. He's like, yeah, well, I'm not sure if you can understand this, you can understand that. I said, people are people. It does not matter what trade they're in, does not matter what industry they're in. If you are dealing with people, Drive speaks to people.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And the inroads we're making. That's the great thing about it. I know what Drive's done for myself, my company, what it's done inside of my family, my entire family. I've got 4 married kids, grandkids, and they all speak Drive. We've all identified what our primary and our secondary drive is so that we know how to communicate one with another. And Woody has taught us this incredible thing. He's got 5 different principles, but principle 3 is, and Woody, I'll let you share about principle 3 and the formula that he's created to basically identify when people get off track and when they're on track, why they behave certain ways. So Woody, take it away.
Yeah, the root of it, there's 5 principles that govern human behavior through Drive that we've discovered. Principle 3 is the one I talk about the most. It states subconsciously or consciously, you'll do anything within your belief system to defend and support your drive. So why do people show up the way they do? Principle 3. Why do they say what they say? Principle 3. Why do they spend money the way they spend money? Like if you go to chapter 5 of that book, the whole book is about Shark Tank. And we broke down the sharks, the way they bought, the way they invested. Every single one of those purchases defended and supported their drive. Back to principle 3. So when people join your company, when they join this podcast, they're doing it to defend and support their drive.
Yeah.
That's super interesting. I love this. Richard Brooke went and took the Drive sales.
I saw that. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's so cool. And how great is that to have a tool that you can use to learn more about yourself, that you can use to share with other people and create that better understanding.
It's almost like a parlor game. I mean, you can do it in a coffee shop with the cards.
Oh,
You got
absolutely.
people in there, and instead of having everybody take a 45-minute hit all these boxes test, you're able to instantly have a conversation about what the way we are and the way that you are, and it will blow your mind. You have to buy this book. You have to buy it. Where do they?
We appreciate the props. We really do,
Yeah.
because Principle 3 is a fantastic tool to really identify when somebody is in alignment, when they're out of alignment. It's so fun because this last Sunday I had somebody make a question in church, and they were like, I don't understand why there's so many people that are getting so upset, why there's so many people that are so easily offended. And now my quick answer to the group was, well, I can tell you why. It's because they allowed themselves to. It was a choice, right? I mean, we all have our agency. We all get to determine whether or not we're going to react or respond. But if I had time in that environment, I would have busted out the drive cards. I would have gone to Principle 3. I would have said they're doing it, to defend and support their drive. This is the reason why people behave in a certain way. It's the reason why people buy, because of the way that it makes them feel. It's an ingenious methodology for really communicating with folks and understanding human behavior in a way that helps us to be a little more sympathetic, a little more empathetic, and to communicate in a way that allows them to build rapport with us faster, because people like themselves. And the more you can speak their drive language, the more they think you're one of them.
There you go. There you go. You're on a lot of airplanes, both of you. How fun is it to have this toolkit in your back pocket as you sit down next to any random person on an airplane, and by the time you're done with them, they don't know what hit them?
You're going to love this. You're going to love this. I got to tell this story, and then you can tell yours. But I'm sitting. I mean, we flew back from Dallas. We were just down at the DNC, or not DNC, the direct selling university.
There you go.
So we just came back from that. Or I did, I should say. Woody wasn't with me on that one. And it was so fun because the guy I sat down next to, we started up a wonderful little conversation and started to chat. And he said, well, I'm a sales director for my company. And I said, that is fantastic, man. Congratulations. I actually own a sales training company. And he says, you've got to be kidding me. He says, I've got a brand new vice president. And my brand new vice president has said, you've got to find a good sales trainer to bring in here to teach our people because they need to understand sales better. So I'm right in the process of following up with Joe and, setting a time to help he and his people in of all places, Utica, New York. That's where they're going to do their sales meeting.
Wow.
And it just happens everywhere, because once you connect with individuals and you share with them the concept of drive, they want to know, because self-discovery is fun. They want to know what makes them tick. And then it helps each person to build rapport. And I'll tell you the other cool thing that I love about it when it comes to building rapport with folks. And that is this, is that if you can give anybody in marketing or sales a tool by which they can share that with someone else, and then that tool reports back to you what their primary and secondary drive is, meaning the assessment. Everybody ought to go to discoveryourdrive.com and take the assessment, right? discoveryourdrive.com. But when you go to the assessment, the great thing about it is that anybody who's a part of our system, part of our customer base, they actually get their own personalized link. So when they get their own personalized link, they can hand that out to friends, family, business associates, prospects. And when they take the assessment, they're going to get a report back saying, this is their primary drive, this is their secondary drive, this is how you should deal with them.
So smart.
Yeah, it's just brilliant. And you want to talk about a rollout of a book.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what these maniacs have done. Not only did they send out this incredible box with a video embedded in it to Adrian and I, on top of that, they've got all these websites. Everything is a progression. And on the very last thing, obviously they've got the word sales out there. And what we're all scared to do is ask for the sale. And inside of this, it says there's no more awkward ask, no forced close, just a confident, natural yes that feels like that's the only choice left to make, because you've literally read their mind and sold them what they said they wanted to buy, and they don't even remember telling you that. And it's a magic trick of epic proportion that you will learn by buying this book. So go buy it right now. It's already at the top of all the lists, and it's off to the races, right, boys?
It is off to the races. Man, you guys have been so incredibly generous with this. I'm feeling this pent up desire for reciprocation somehow. At this point in time, whatever you need from us, you got it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Caviar and Bitcoin, Bob. Keep it
Caviar and Bitcoin on its way.
So you open up the book. I want one of the things. So that, you obviously every time people send us books, we think they're going to write something gushy about it. They both put in their cell phone numbers, different handwriting. Either they got two different people to do that, or they actually wrote their phone number.
We write it, man. It's the power of the pen.
In the book. And then they had this yellow sticky that fell out that was personal, that made me feel important yet one more time. That's what you need to do, not for your prospects. I mean, they're out there. There's a ton of prospects for your leaders, because the companies aren't doing it. The company owners aren't doing it. They're too busy doing what they do. And if you want to be successful in this business and keep your people, they need to know that they are all of it in a bag of chips. This system is going to give you the tools to teach those, to keep those leaders engaged, but more importantly, to teach those leaders, to teach their leaders how to do the same thing. And that's why this thing is such a winner. Don't you agree?
I totally agree.
So tomorrow, okay, so tomorrow, who do we have next week?
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to try to get Adrian to help me, but we're going to, you can be the technical guy. We're going to interview Richard Brooke. And
good.
The reason is because, and I'm begging him to do it. He doesn't even really know it yet. He's on this call. And we're going to bring on him because he and I have walked Australia. We've walked Hawaii. We've walked it all, talking about exactly what's going on inside of this and doing the fundamentals of network marketing and treating people like human beings instead of prospects and loving like crazy, then loving more. So we're going to do a special show tomorrow on this. And the reason is I want to boil it right back into what you guys are doing. And then I know that Richard Brooke just wrote another book, but he hasn't started promoting it yet. And I think this was a really good lesson on how to do it. So maybe he'll learn something and it'll be a big hit like this one is. But, oh no, there he is. Yeah, he's still watching. I thought he dozed off by now. But you guys, let's make this world a better place through communication and relationship. I'll never forget when I met you, Bob, and you were such a genius in real estate. And it was so much beyond my pay grade to be able to understand what you and Richard Stock were talking about. But I fell in love with your heart. And as we're sitting here today, I'm watching this fire in your eyes that is 10 times more than what it was back there 3 years ago when we first met. You guys are spectacular. And I just want you to know, and the way that you edify each other back and forth, I mean, I've got to say nothing but nicer things about you.
It's just good. I'm glad you're finally taking note.
Yes. So we are happy.
Can I compliment you two for a second? So one thing, and I know Bob, everything he said was accurate. We both feel this law of reciprocity coming back.
Oh, yeah.
You are so generous. I mean, sincerely, so generous on your kindness towards us. I mean, you interview people all the time. The way that you treat other people is massive ROI, return on importance. We would both do anything for you two. I remember when Adrian and I were talking, there was a joint venture that we had a potential of doing together. And just as things happen in business, it kind of fell through, but it didn't affect our relationship. Every time he had a win, I would text him like, hey man, congratulations. So proud of you. You're killing it. Keep going for it. That's what true authenticity is. It's not what can you do for me right here, right now. It's, hey, I'm going to be in this game a very long time. You're going to be in the game a very long time. Let's support one another anytime we can. So kudos to you guys for being leaders in this industry, for this podcast, for what you do with legacy leadership. You guys are legacy people, and we're honored to be part of your world any way, shape, or form.
Let's make the world a better place.
Hey, and listen, you know what? I mean, I've got 38 years in the industry, and I have got more training that I have created and prepared over that time than I know what to do with it. And I am happy to share anytime, you guys want to take your listeners and help them to level up.
Well,
that's so awesome.
We are believers. Who is it next week?
Rebecca Whitman.
Oh, Rebecca Whitman's cool. She's she's a great coach, great student, and unbelievable. And then after that, We've got that Dave Grimaldi. I don't know if you guys know who he is. Dave, he's the guy that's interacting with Brooke. Who is he?
He's the head of the DSA, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Dave Grimaldi, president of the DSA. Let
Yeah.
me tell you a little bit about Dave. I'll give a plug to Dave because my own personal feelings on the DSA have not always been really positive.
No kidding.
Yeah. And what I've watched Dave come in and do is he's the first one that I've ever seen who's come in and said, listen, we are going to create a DSA that actually represents companies, represents marketers, makes a difference on Washington, on Capitol Hill. He's out there in the trenches doing it every single week. So those of you that are watching, you've got to tune in for Dave Grimaldi because he has become the champion of our cause and he is the defender of our business and our channel.
And we are going to blow it out. Lisa
Yes.
Grossman and Donna Johnson are going to help me with it because they're afraid I'll screw it up. So that's exciting. And it is going to be a great, great, great interview with him like you guys were. And thank you so much for coming on. You have earned yourself. Oh, man, I got to get up. Where'd they go? Did Michelle move them? All right, we got sweatshirts for you. Love like crazy, then love more from the sponsor of our show, Now Site. So you will love those guys, and you can have whatever color you want. But I personally prefer pink, just because I'm a pink kind of guy.
Right on.
We'll get you guys there. Michelle will give you that when you get off the coast. So thank
Oh
you.
my goodness. I am going to wear that
it.
proudly to family reunions and monster
There you
truck
go.
rallies.
All right,
Let's
man.
go.
We love you. Love you. Love you. Thank you.
Love you guys.
Thank you,
What an honor.
gentlemen.
Denise,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
everybody.
Congrats. We'll see you all next week. Take care.